Today's video is cross-referencing theology, and the subject is Tecumseh. I just wrote this out, so I'm just going to read it. Today we're going to talk about cross-referencing theology. Subject of this will be the man, the spirit, the legend known as Tecumseh. Tecumseh, the man, was born March 9th, 1768, in Pickaway, Ohio area. Died at Town, Canada, October 5th, 1813, at the Battle of the Thames. Was from the Shawnee tribe. Did as much as humanly possible to save some of America from the European invaders, but they had grace on their side, and the natives didn't. I'll have to go into that more in a later video. Tecumseh was a spirit called Panther passing over the sky. That is what we will discuss today. Let's move forward a bit. Tecumseh the spirit is still in Ohio, but now it's February 8th, 1820, and he is being born Tecumseh Sherman in Lancaster, Ohio, later baptized William, so becomes William Tecumseh Sherman, who goes on to be a Civil War general, a bit infamous, at least to the South. After the war, Tecumseh Sherman writes in his memoirs. In the first chapter, Sherman writes the history of the Sherman family coming to America. He gets to his father and his family in Lancaster, and then the general switches seasons to the War of 1812 on the shores of Lake Erie and the Maumee River, exactly where Tecumseh the Indian was at. Then says how he, the general, got the name Tecumseh. Then he finishes telling the tale of the War of 1812 in northwest Ohio area, Toledo basically, my hometown. Holy Toledo, Genesis 22:24. We'll go into that in another video too. Sherman obviously chose this way to subtly say he was Tecumseh both times. Now we are back to the Civil War. Sherman is taken in Atlanta and has a back and forth war of letters with the Atlanta mayor and General Hood. The style Sherman used made historian Lloyd Lewis write that Sherman now felt the duties of the Archangel Michael upon him. Now we move to Sherman's march to the sea. On the second day out from leaving Atlanta at Covington, Georgia, Sherman himself records that he came upon an old gray-haired man, said he'd been looking for the angel of the Lord since he was knee-high. This term is used often concerning the angel who carries a sword in many places through the Old Testament, identified by theologians as Michael the Archangel, that Sherman had already pointed to himself with his letter to the Atlanta mayor. So here we have Sherman first pointing to himself as the spirit known to the natives as Tecumseh, but then later Michael the Archangel, also known as the Passover Angel. But wait, Tecumseh is a spirit known as Panther passing over the sky. Let's finish with Dead Sea Scrolls 11Q13 is translated by most experts as Michael the Archangel holds the office of Melchizedek. That's how your author was taught that the Shawnee calls this spirit Panther passing over the sky. Christians call this spirit Michael the Archangel, and the high priest in Judaism is Melchizedek, which is your author's claim to fame of being Melchizedek, aka Michael, aka Tecumseh, left to guard the tree of life in the Garden of Eden in Holy Toledo, Genesis 22/24. Shalom. And then I have a couple pictures here. Oh, I guess you can't really see them very good. But anyway, that's pretty much today's video, sponsored by Melchizedek/files.com. You can reach me at Tecumseh419@yahoo.com, or check out my website. That's all for today. Shalom.